Liberia, so I think Corinne and go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Focus on Liberia. My name is knuckles-guishard, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight, our topic is on Liberian youth initiatives. And we have three Liberian organizations, youth organizations being represented tonight. And to introduce them, I turn all over to my co-host, Mrs. Danielle knuckles-guishard. Danielle?
Good evening, everyone, and good night to some of you, depending on what part of the world you are, or good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Focus on Liberia. Today, as Dennis said, we have some young leaders with us today, and today's show is entitled Liberian Youth Initiatives. So these are young people who have taken their time to help push the youth of Liberia forward. Before we begin, welcome again to everyone, and please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Focus on Liberia. Also, please like our page, Focus on Liberia, here on Facebook. And today we are streaming from Dennis's page, but we will also share that on our Facebook page and Facebook person page. So once again, everyone, thanks for joining us. And to start, I'm going to introduce our guests. I'll start off with Mr. Garcon Morweh. He is one of the founders and the president for Young Innovative Leaders of Liberia, also known as YEL, an organization based in Chicago that collaborates with others while building the capacity of both youth and young professional leaders. He currently runs a financial services firm that secures a better future for families by providing financial retirement and insurance strategies. If you're interested in securing your family's future, please visit www.getinsured.com. In his spare time, he enjoys volunteering for charitable organizations and spends time with his family. So, Mr. Morweh, thank you for being here, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Mr. Emmanuel Sackie of Educate Liberia. He is a web developer with a lot of professional experience in critical thinking and analysis. He is interested in e-services, but his major focus is computer programming. He is a college dropout of Blue Crest University, and he has one sister, Sackie, and his father is Sam Sackie, and mother Finda Sackie. And I believe Mr. Alex Devine has been able to join us again. But before we move on to him, Emmanuel, I want to tell you thank you. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Focus on Liberia. Okay, and we also have Alex Devine, who is an influential educator and mentor with 13 years of experience as a youth developer. He's Liberia's first certified Global Goodwill Ambassador of United World Humanitarian Group based in the United States of America. Mr. Devine is the founder and executive director of Youth for Change Incorporated, the official conveyor of the National Debate Championship and Educational Empowerment Hub, eHub, in Liberia. He is a graduate of the University of Liberia, where he specialized in sociology and public administration. And he also holds an associate degree in criminal justice from the Smythe Institute of Management and Technology. Mr. Devine is passionate about breaking societal discriminatory norms that affect women and children, and also serves as project consultant of Liberia Shelter for Abused Women and Children, LSAWC. Mr. Devine is a managing partner of Creative Minds Studio, KMTV, as many of you know, a modern media and recording company in Liberia. He served for 3 years as chairman of the Social Cultural Committee of the University of Liberia Student Union, ULSU, and 5 years as chairman of the Actors Guild Liberia Movie Union. Mr. Devine consulted for the World Bank Group near Liberia, coordinating the World Bank 2015 National Essay Competition in Liberia, and coordinated the Young Ambassadors for Peace Liberia program under the umbrella of the Federation of Liberian Youth, FLY or FLY, and the Universal Peace Federation, UPF, with headquarters in South Korea. Mr. Alex Devine is known for mentoring Liberia's next generation of lawyers and leaders. His famous quotes are, "When you have something to offer your generation, the world stops to listen. Education without application is no education. And the you that is in you is the you that makes you who you are." So, Mr. Devine, thank you and welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here tonight.
Wonderful. So to start, we're just going to let everybody know what each of your organizations do exactly. So Garcon, can you please tell everyone exactly what YEL is and what its mission and vision is?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on your platform. YEL is a young organization that started back in 2011 with the mission to try to unite and collaborate with a lot of young Liberians, leaders, and try to serve as mentor and try to empower them to either pursue education and be able to be a voice within their local community here in the U.S. We started by branching up with various community organizations throughout the states. One of our initiatives was to partner with the national umbrella organization, which is ULA, which is a parent organization for a lot of Liberians associates here in the U.S. And it's just to see how we can try to bring about young people involvement and their activity within their local community. So since then, we have been organizing and doing a lot of youth empowerment initiative in different states. Our first initiative was held in Chicago, Illinois. Following that, we went to Worcester, Massachusetts, and we went to Sacramento, California, and we hosted one in at Columbia University in New York, and we did one in Philadelphia at Widener University, and then the last one was held in Chicago, and then previously last year we hosted one at a career workshop at the U.S. Embassy in Morweh. It was a leadership conference held there, teaching young Liberians how to be career ready, teaching them how to prepare a resume, how to look and present themselves professionally while using social media.
One minute, Garcon. I think someone has on the Facebook Live at the same time. You have to lower that so that way there's not an echo. Okay.
So if you are watching on Facebook or Emmanuel, please turn it off or put the phone down so we don't get the feedback. If you are watching the show on Facebook, please turn the volume to off so we don't get the feedback when someone is talking, okay? We still getting feedback.
Yes.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Emmanuel, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, if you're watching on Facebook, please lower the volume to 0 so we don't get a feedback.
No, I'm not on Facebook.
Okay, There's noise in the background somewhere. All right,
Audio input.
welcome back to Focus on Liberia. Again, as we've been introduced, our topic, Liberian Youth Initiatives. We are speaking with 3 youth organizations who are going to share with us things about their organization. So right now we are going around the room for each of those organizations to tell us a little bit about what they do. So we go back to you, Garcon.
Yeah. So basically, we have been working. Basically, we have been on the introductory stage and seeing how we can unite young Liberians to try to step up to leadership. Because if you look at our various Liberian community here in the U.S., the young people present in leadership is lacking. That's throughout the state, based on my observation and based on my traveling and my involvement with ULI. A lot of young people, they only come around in the present of being part of the soccer team, or either because there's an entertainment activity. So our goal was to see how we can encourage young Liberians to take on issues that affecting their community or issue that are affecting them personally, and see how we can try to expand on that within our local community organization. So since then, yeah, we have been doing it. Our last initiative, I think it brought up a presidential candidate in Liberia, Medela Cooper. She spoke at the conference held in Sacramento, California. We have had a lot of young Liberians who serve part of Yale, who are currently part of the government, the present government of Liberia today. They're currently in Liberia serving. So yeah, so our goal was to try to bring about, good leadership and good building good integrity amongst young Liberians and getting to know each other, getting to know our background, our strength, and things of that nature. So we have helped, and invited a lot of young Liberians from back home to attend a lot of our international conferences, so we can get to know their perspective on how.
All right. We can go to the next.
Okay. And Mr. Devine, can you tell us exactly what the mission and vision is for your organization?
Okay. So I'd like to say, first of all, thank you for having me. It's an opportunity. I should listen to a couple of my philosophy that states that when you have something to offer your generation, the world stop to listen. And I, one person, who believe that there is so much potential that we have in this country that we tap into. My organization is basically focused on, in terms of the vision. Our vision is to be able to groom, identify potential leaders that we can launch into their future. We believe that the future is now, and that the young people should take responsibility of their future. But to do that is to be able to identify them and groom them into perspective that we believe that it will be proud to our nation. So our vision is identifying young people, availing them to a bigger platform and launching them into their future that they totally deserve, because, a lot of them have different perspective of what to do in the future. So that's what we do. And our mission basically focus on the fact that our mission is to be able to prepare them for now, for the future. So our mission says that the present determines the future. So we believe that people who are preparing for the future, they need to be prepared now. So our basic idea is just focus around human capacity building, young people building their capacity to be able to make sure that they go leadership not in the too distant future. So it was against that backdrop that in 2014, that Youth for Change got established in Liberia, and it basically got established around the Ebola period, where we thought that too many things happening around our community, specifically in the Earway Junction, where a lot of Ebola have killed a lot of parents and family. We thought it was important for us to do some community sensitization, informing people how to wash their hands, how to take care of themselves, how to avoid contacting Ebola from one person to another. So that's where we started from. And I can tell you for sure that We did a video that is currently on Facebook, and we did a video that we were able to raise some money to be able to send some kids to school. So that began our passion from that point. And we've been moving on and where we are now. So Youth for Change is basically focused on our vision is to make sure that we identify young people and launch them into their future, whatever field they want to go into, whether politics, whether education, whatever field you want to go to. But once we identify them, then we groom them into our mentorship program, and then we launch them into their future for the future that is totally desired. And our mission is to make sure that we present the young people who are the future leaders, we prepare them to launch into their future. So it's just basically focused around building young people capacity and launching them into their respective future.
Awesome. And Emmanuel, what about you? Tell us about the vision and mission for Educate Liberia.
Basically, firstly, let me give thanks and appreciation to the Focus on Liberia family for affording me the opportunity to be on the platform tonight. I'm grateful, firstly. Basically, Educate Liberia is an educated initiative designed to help Liberian students have access to all of the educational material that are taught in Liberian schools, as prescribed by the Ministry of Education, the National Commission on Higher Education. That way, like if I'm a student in my country, I can be able to have access to all of these books, like the Marriage of Wisdom, the Gods Are Not to Be Blamed. All of these major books that are taught in Liberian schools. Honestly, like the national curriculum that are taught in Liberian schools, students don't have access to it. Basically, it's kind of hard for students to have access to it. So, and all of the topics that are supposed to be taught in schools has not been taught to students because the teacher will not have the maximum amount of time to be able to cover all of these topics. But we have this curriculum online, and we break all of the topics that are in the curriculum with all of the various topics that are in the curriculum. We have lessons on all of these topics online that students can be able to go there and be able to read. Not only that, we also have like a student tracking database. Let's just say I'm moving from the William V.S. Todman High School and I want to go to the D12 Memorial High School. That way, I don't have to carry, you understand, student falsified document or move from one school to the other. So that way, I don't have to carry my letter of recommendation, transcript, or grade sheet. The only thing I do, I just carry my student ID number and they punch it into the database where then my information pop up. And you understand that it will maximize student falsifying grades to move from one point to the other. That's basically our main intention. For our mission, Educate Liberia to enhance the quality of learning beyond the classroom that students can be able to have access to it 24/7. Our vision, we intend to broaden our students, to broaden the students' mind in Liberia to have access to quality learning material as provided by the National Commission on Higher Education and the Ministry of Education in Liberia.
Thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about the structure of your organization? Who are your teammates and what are some of the talents that they bring to Educate Liberia?
Okay, for now, Educate Liberia is basically based on voluntary initiatives. So all of these guys that are part and parcel, we are all volunteer like myself. We have Usman El Kale. He's a web. Basically, I can say the entire team is built all of web developers. The entire team is built of web developers. So Usman El Kale is a web developer at the FPGB and the Bucharest University College. We have Theophilus recent graduate from the Morweh Vocational University, studying computer programming at Audacity and UT. I also have Mr. Upton, also a web developer that is studying computer programming also at Audacity also. So that way we all came together to help our education system. We understand that our current president is saying that our education system is a mess. So we want to change that mess to the best that we all of the students in Liberia can be able to benefit and have access to it.
Okay, awesome. So your team is a group of volunteer web developers.
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Devine, what about Youth for Change? What is your organizational structure right now, and who are some of your teammates, and what are they bringing to the table?
Okay, so our organization is structured in three. We have three arrangement, three pillars of the institution. It starts with the board, and of course, I have some very respectable people on our board. We have Eva Flomo on our board. We have Miata Family on our board, and we have another guy called Emmanuel on our board. So Dr. Baba Gayflow on our board. So these are people who are on our board. So he has the board, and then comes down to the administrative structure that I am humbled to be serving as the executive director. I work with a team of young people. I think a lot of them are watching this broadcast right now. And administrative structure starts from the executive director. Of course, I'm serving that position. And then come down to the project, director of project, one Morris Kamara Jr., and then come down to our finance manager, Valerie Johnson, a very young woman. And then we have the communication director, Nelon Swa. And then come down, we have the procurement director, Caroline Arma, and then come down a little bit. So the structure is come to the administrative structure. And after that, then we have the director of multimedia, Thomas Bukari. He does all of our social media work and all of the graphic you see, sometimes live streaming. He does all of that job. And then you come down to the third arm of Youth for Change is the arm of the volunteerism. We have a voluntary arm that is very strong because all of the young people we work along with from the different programs we identify, we've been working through over the years. There are exceptional leaders that come through those programs. So like I said, our institution is focused on three cardinal pillars. One was education, second was mentorship, and third was the empowerment arm. But currently we're not focused, we're not working too much on the empowerment arm, but working with the education and the mentorship. So all of our program falls in between those two. So the second arm that has to do with the mentorship, most of the young people who come through our different programs are graduated through the mentorship program. So a lot of them come through that we try to mentor them, try to develop them into becoming potential leaders, like I said, in our vision, our mission determine our present, determine our future. So we try to mentor them. So a lot of young people, some of whom today are around the world, I can tell you for sure, one of our mentees is currently now with the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Fedela Shabani, was called by the Vice President currently in Morocco right now. And then we have two of our students too, of course, who came through the debate as well, Yuben Wosuto and John Singley are studying in Morocco through, of course, our mentorship program as well. And as I speak to you right now, about 2 o'clock this morning, we have the brand ambassador for Youth for Change, who came also through the National Debate Championship. Sata F. Sharif is on our way to Sri Lanka for a conference that's going to be taking place for 10 days. So these are young people who come through our programs, and then we graduate them to the mentorship program. And, you know, and then we work through with them. So our institution is structured in three areas. One is the education arm. Second is the mentorship arm. Third is the empowerment. The empowerment idea is to make sure that most of the young people who have exceptional talent, who got some great idea of transforming their life through different kind of initiative. Idea is we look for some money. When we identify, we look for the money, we build your capacity, then we empower you to make sure that you go ahead and do what you need to do. So right now we're not focusing on that because we have not raised the expected capital we need to make sure that we do that. So that's what the organization is structuring to.
And Garcon, what about Yale? Exactly what is the organizational structure and who do you have on your team right now?
Excuse me?
I said, what is the organizational structure of Yale and who are some of your teammates right now?
Okay, well, currently Yale, we have an executive advisory board, followed by an executive director, co-director, and fellow committee members. We decided to rebrand Yale because Yale was originally formed around how the normal way of Liberian organization, like the way we are organized in the U.S., where we have president, vice president, we make it more of a election type of organization. And from after several years of working with Liberian organization and reviewing, we concluded that that is not working. So basically, we want to format Yale in a way of as running a business where we will hire an executive director that will run the day-to-day activity. of Yale by following its bylaws. So 2 years ago, we reached out to a private organization planner to try to reach out to ex-members and try to formulate a new structure, a new format of Yale. So currently, I have my assistant, her name is Patient Noah. She's based in Massachusetts. We have a very strong, talented young Liberian in Liberia named Silip Foley. He run the day-to-day activity of Yale back in Liberia because we transition a lot of our focus in Liberia because we see that's where a lot of young Liberians are needed. A lot of needs are needed in Liberia with young Liberians being that the population in Morweh alone, 65% of the population is young people. But yeah, so mainly the core and then the vice director of core and committee members that run and then volunteering and those type of in which we want to go and treating it as a business rather than a non-for-profit that is very political as many of our young Liberian organizations here in the U.S.
Okay, so you told us that Yale is moving to a more traditional nonprofit structure with like a executive director, and rather than elected positions like a president, vice president. And I understand that because sometimes
we believe that the only thing that can be
Did we lose you?
We need to take a quorum on certain things. I think that is the position and the stand that we should use in trying to make it more of a civic. That should be the only civic part in organization, because the whole electionary process of Liberian organization in the U.S. it brings about confusion, it brings about division, and a lot of people are they're not interested after they have served. So we think it is very divisive, and people come on board and bring about their own ideas, and they're not following the organization bylaws. So we believe that if we put these positions in places, people are hired to do their job, they will be able to do their job.
So Garcon, back to Yale. Last year, and you mentioned this, last year you guys hosted a career and professional development workshop at the U.S. Embassy in Liberia. Can you tell us a little bit more about that event and what happened? What was the result of the event?
Yes, last year I think maybe Alex Devine and others in Liberia can vouch for this, but during my trip in Liberia during the election period, and my patient Noah, who is the vice president of co-executive director.
Garcon.
Yes.
Garcon?
Yes.
Yeah, but you were very low, and then we want to adjust the camera so that we can see your face.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Can you see me now?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. So the program was hosted at the U.S. Embassy in April of last year. We had over 300 young Liberians. We partnered with 3 different organizations. One of the organizations was his name is, for one, Patrice Joa. Her organization is a for-profit organization in Liberia. What's his name? Greece. And then one organization based in Liberia and Minnesota by the name of, I think, Focus on Liberia as well. Basically, the goal was to see how we can train young Liberians how to be ready for like a job preparedness, like what type of question, how to review the resume, what are they putting on the resume. So that program was led by Patient Noah during her visit to Liberia. It was a 3-section program where, because the U.S. Embassy in Liberia, the space is very limited. So we had 3 different sections where young people came and they got certificates they actually liked the program and they requested that we come back to Liberia and actually host more program there. So being that on that foundation, we decided to host our next Young Liberian Summit, which we annually host in the U.S. We have been hosting that for the past 6 years here in the U.S. at major universities. So we decided to take that to Liberia. We wanted to do it in April of this year, but we pushed that back to December because of our time here and other members of our organization are in school, because our goal was to take a lot of young Liberians from here back to Liberia and try to interact and engage with young Liberians back home.
That's awesome. I hope all of that comes together well for December.
Yes.
Mr. Devine, we see a lot of Facebook Lives from Youth for Change streaming the Liberia National Debate Championship. Can you tell us about what YOC's role is in the debate?
Well, so the National Debate Championship is an idea developed here in Liberia to curb some phenomena erupted in 2015 under the leadership of former President term as Super Friday. Super Friday was something that the young people would leave every Friday from classes, active classes, and would take to the beaches. They would go to Merrymay, and so it was very alarming. And I remember the police used to go on the beaches and have the young people whipped to leave the beaches. That was probably one of the ways that they thought that would work, and they closed the beaches at a certain point in time. So, in our country, a lot of organizations, a lot of young people, our country is driven by politics. So we take those little things and we just politicize it. So a lot of people talk about it in Liberia. No solution was really meant or was developed along the way. So we thought it was our government, because we knew that the government was losing it, and we thought it was important for us to, develop an idea to help them. So then we did a survey, and the survey proves that all of the questions, the familiar ones that came across the floor, was the fact that the young people said they were boring. I remember when we were in high school back then, there were a couple of activities, extracurricular activities that we were involved with. It's not basketball, it's sport, it's not sport, it's debate, it's quizzing. And those things are not really following our academic system now. It's more a traditional thing, just go in the classroom. So the young people got boring and they needed something to do. So the best thing they found to do was to, have fun on Friday. And that program, that phenomenon resulted in three things. One is there was high level of drugs addiction in our country amongst the young people. Second thing, there was huge, it was alarming rape cases. Every Friday was reported. Third thing was also that the young people, a lot of them got drowned in the sea. Every Friday we had cases of young people getting drowned in the sea. So we knew it was a national problem, and it requires all of us to contribute and help our country. So we did the survey, we realized that young people were going to beaches because they wanted somewhere to Merrymay. Then we developed this idea, because the idea was to transform the Super Friday into what we call Academic Friday. So since 2015, when we developed that, we did high school. There were 20 high schools, and in Monrovia, from the initial start, it was tough, but then the grand final, it was successful. So we thought that it was a good again for us to do it. In 2016, we did it again, but this time around, we left from Monrovia, we went in Monserrado County, and we dealt with 80 high schools now. From 20, we went to 80. In 2017 again, we saw the result from 2016 was positive, and we thought to do it again. We did it 2017, and then this time around, we did 120 high schools. What even excited or even more, or encouraged or even more, was the fact that all of our live streaming, like you talk about, all of our games, we thought that it was important for us to live stream. And the essence of live streaming our games was many of the young people are driven by Facebook. So even if you can't come in the hall to watch the game, you can sit to your house, or you can wherever you sit and watch the game on the phone. We believe that will motivate them, it will excite them to say, okay, you know what? I'm going there next time to sit in the hall and watch the game. So we took that idea to as well as one of our methodology to disseminate the information and for people to watch and see the impact that was cutting across Liberia. So 2017, based on our live streaming that we normally do, then we got an invitation from South Africa. And this organization has been following our work on Facebook. They are the organizer of the Africa Debate Championship. And they sent us an invitation to send it to Liberia, but through Youth for Change, for Liberia for the first time to participate in the Africa Debate Championship. And then we mustered the courage to look for the money. We were able to send at least about 12 young people in South Africa. 14 African countries gathered in South Africa. Liberia, for the first time, participating in that competition, came third in the entire tournament, which we thought it was good for us, you know. And we just didn't come third in the tournament, but we came as the best delegation from West Africa, ahead of Ghana, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. And we just didn't come third, but we also were ranked as the most outstanding team. The competition I've not seen where a first-time entry win more than 3 games in a row. Liberia winning the tournament with these exceptional young people, won 5 out of 8 games that they played. So they gave us a certificate and a trophy. We brought it back. We took it to the then president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and we presented them to her because she supported us when we were going. So 2017, that shows we're like, oh, this is working. This can work. 2018, when we came back, when we did the debate, we thought that we've done it in Monserrate too much again. Let's go outside of Monrovia. So we're one step outside of Monrovia. We're there with now 7 counties in Monrovia. And then when we concluded that stage, we also again went one step forward to make better research. We found that there is a competition in the world called the World School Debate Championship that is held around the world. And last year was held in Croatia. We have 64 countries that gathered in Croatia, and that championship has existed for 30 years. Liberia has never been there before. So again, we were able, again, through the Ministry of Education, I'd like to say thank you to them. The current Ministry of Education is Professor Soni. They managed to raise the ticket for us, and then the team were able to go Croatia last year. And the competition has got 10 stages. Liberia ranked from stage 0 to stage 8, and we dropped to stage 8. We needed to accumulate about 6,089 points. 6,089 points. We got 6,004 points, so we could not go at the grand final, but we reached at that point. Again, the live streaming. Again, we had our director of multimedia who was in Croatia, and he was bringing all of the game live from Croatia. That game was relayed here in Liberia by KMTV. It was also relayed by the Liberian National Broadcast Institution, ELBC, as well. So a lot of people has been watching it. So we use social media to make sure that we cut across, because we believe that not many people in the county can be able to watch. So many people in the county have access to Facebook, has access to smartphone. So if you can come in the hall, you can use your phone to see what's happening and be motivated and inspired by the other people who you'll be watching.
That's wonderful. And I see this year there are 15 counties participating in the national championship. Is that correct?
You say what?
Is it 15 counties?
Yes, this year is 15 counties. This year is 15 counties. You know, our idea is we always measure the impact. We like to watch it. First of all, try and see, and then we learn. So last year, since we took it to 7 counties, there was a lesson we learned. We believe that we build upon the lessons and we send it to the 15 counties. So this year, our idea is to see, you know, they have something here in Liberia called the county sports meet, and organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. The idea behind the county sports meet is to make sure that they unify our people through sports. So we were saying that we're using education to encourage academic excellence across the 15 counties. We're using debate to encourage academic excellence across the 15 counties. So since we did it in 7 counties last year and the results were very favorable, we thought it was important for us to spread it out to the 15 counties. So yes, this year we have the 15 counties, and as a matter of fact, we've done with 13 counties already, because the debate have 4 stages. Stage 1 is the county preliminaries. So with the schools in the county will play amongst themselves, and then one will be qualified to come to Monrovia to represent that county in the central tournament of the debate. So we completed 13 county already. We got 13 eligible schools that will be representing the 13 counties in Monrovia. On Tuesday, I'll be going Nimba. Nimba will be completing theirs on Wednesday. Tuesday is the semi-final in Nimba County, and Wednesday is the grand final. And then we come back in Monserrate County on Thursday, and Friday will be the semi and the grand final for Monserrate County. So by Friday of this week, we will be completing the entire 15 county. We know that we know exactly the 15 schools that will be coming to Monrovia in May first week to represent the 15 county at the Central Tournament, which is the second phase of the championship that we're organizing here in Liberia.
And these are high schools?
120 high schools.
Oh, these are high schools?
Yes, high schools. We're dealing with high schools for now, but the plan is when we're done with high school, we'll be doing the regional. We are going to launch at the grand final, the regional debate that we take in consideration of at least about 5 West African countries. We'll be launching it this year at the grand final, where we have regional debate across 5 or 6 West African countries for a start.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight, our topic is on Liberian youth initiatives. We have guests from Monrovia, that's representing Educate Liberia, is our friend Emmanuel Sackie. We have representing Liberia Youth for Change, that's Alex Devine, also from Monrovia, and representing the Young Innovative Leaders of Liberia from residing in Chicago, Illinois, Mr. Garcon Morweh. Back to you, Danielle.
Yes, Emmanuel, we checked out your website for Educate Liberia, and we saw links for WIAC practice questions and links to show students how to find out their WIAC test scores online. Can you tell us about how your mission ties into sharing these links on your website?
Basically, like our main intention is to centralize Liberia. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I said is to centralize Liberia information, is to be able to have access to all of the. I said our main intention is to bring education to our people in Liberia, is to make it affordable and accessible to all. We understand that when you check about things about Liberia, you have to go from different side to the other. Sometimes you get boring about just searching for one thing, going from one place to the other. So we want to centralize things. When you find anything about Liberia, I have to have check fast checkup. We also have the fast. We also have we want to know the historical places in Liberia, different things about Liberia. These are things that are very much cardinal to our educational system. And not only students, it will not only benefit students, researchers also can use that platform to be able to benefit from it. So the way people most of the time, you understand that Wikipedia is not something that is basically for Liberia, but if you want to find most of the information about Liberia, they will link you to Wikipedia. And on Wikipedia, information that are posted there are posted by people who don't have factual information about Liberia. So on that platform, we have Educate Liberia platform. These are information that are factual and they are posted by Liberians themselves. And from not only by Liberians themselves, but from 2 regulatory institutions, the National Commission on Higher Education and the Ministry of Education.
Wonderful. It's great that you have that information online for students to access all in one place. So Garcon, going back to you and Yale, last year also, I believe you held a conference in Liberia entitled Opportunity for Communications in Rebranding Liberia. What were the ideas and sentiments that were shared at that conference, and what was the result of the conference?
Well, that program, I think we collaborated with, it was the first ever Monrovia Week in Liberia. It was hosted by Patrice Joie. So basically just try to promote communication and seeing how we can try to promote Liberia. So that was the first ever. And our role there was to see how to facilitate and support the logistical cost for it. And being that she was one of our partnering organization when we hosted the career workshop at the U.S. Embassy in Liberia in April, we decided to partner with her to try to bring the first ever Liberia Communication Week. So yeah. So basically, it just bring about a lot of Liberians, writers, and people that passionate about communication and seeing how they can forecast a better Liberia through positive initiative. The Ministry of Information, I think Eugene Namboy was also invited to that, and it was a great program. It was a great program, and the outcome was great. It was well attended. People came there and had a great time. It was very well publicized. I think even Alex can confirm this. I think what's the media one of the media group that he runs will actually air and carry the program as well.
And so you mentioned earlier that Yale is restructuring. Is restructuring. Can you tell us exactly what are your goals for this year? What are the things that Yale would really like to accomplish this year? I'm sorry, Garcon.
Yes, I'm sorry. What we trying to do is basically identify 6 main issues in Liberia, where it may be in the healthcare sector, the educational sector, if it's the empowering. Try to create more programs that will help Liberians. One thing that we wanted to do was to see how we can create an empowerment initiative in Liberia at our conference, if held in December, where we can try to motivate a lot of Liberians organizations to whatever project and whatever idea they're doing, to try to see how we can financially help that and try to track that process to see in one of our mission in terms of empowering young Liberians. So that's one of our initiatives we want to host. So we're picking 5 different sectors and try to reach out to grant writing institution and grant organization to see how we can generate funds to try to help that. So where if it's the healthcare, we want to help train 6 young Liberians how to become nurses or bring them to the U.S. or how to create a standardized testing program in Liberia where we can help them achieve their educational goals and objectives and try to come to the U.S. and try to gain higher education. So those are some of the things that we're trying to partner with Young Liberians organization in Liberia to see how we can help them achieve that.
And Alex, can you tell us, or can you tell our audience how they can help your organization, Youth for Change? So how can we help?
Well, there are a couple of ways. First of all, I know we are running a GoFundMe right now. It's on our page, it's also on our website. We're running a GoFundMe to support the ongoing National Debate Championship across the 15 counties. So people could just go on our GoFundMe and just drop the nickel down that you can help us. We'll appreciate that. The second thing is the current debate is ongoing. So, and there are a couple of people who in the U.S., as a matter of fact, has been helping us. One, my Joey Duncan, is in the U.S. there who've been following our work. And last year, I remember she did a trophy for us in the States and did there about 3 trophies and sending for us here in Liberia. So we're looking forward to somebody can say, you know what, I will give the cash prize this year for the most eloquent speaker of the National Debate Championship. That is just $350. Or someone can say, you know what, I will get the MVP cash prize is $300. Somebody can say, you know what, we have a 4-5, we can put money together and give the champion or the second winner cash prize, because the champion of this year debate, what we try to do is to make sure that we can measure the impact of the cash we give to the school. So we make the cash a little more so that the cash goes towards project. It is not owned by students who just eat. So that's why we increased the cash prize this year for $3,000. The champion walking with $3,000. So that money goes towards a project. Maybe they want to build a library. Maybe they want to probably build, give the campus a facility. Maybe they want to do agriculture project. whatever you want to do, that money you have to go there. So that is why we asked them, do a project proposal, send it to us, and then before we release the fund towards that. So the champion is working with $3,000 this year. The second is working with $1,500, and the third is working with $750, and then the fourth will be working with $500. So these are the amount. Anyone who are watching this broadcast who want to help the Liberian National Debate Championship can also, donate in that direction. Of course, we are bringing, like I said, we are bringing 150 persons from across the 15 counties. They arrive here in Monrovia May 1st. They will remain here until the grand final, which is June 2nd. They will be on the camp. We groom them. We train them into the current debate that is familiar around the world. It's called the World School Debate format. That is not known to Liberia. We learned it last year when we went to Croatia. We brought that home. We are grooming our young people to understand, because our young people went last year in Croatia. They found it very difficult to understand the system. They've never even heard about what World School Debate is. So we thought that was important, that once you participate in the Liberian National Debate Championship, you will automatically somehow qualify to go to represent Liberia at these international functions. So we should train you first year so that before you go there, you're already prepared. So when they come on the camp for the first 2 weeks, we groom them, we train them into the format, and then it's the last 2 weeks, we'll go straight into the debate, where some counties will drop, and some counties, we have 4 counties that will be going to the grand final, and then on June 3rd will be a grand final, which will be held at the Centennial Pavilion. So anyone, as they will be in the camp, you can also give us donation in kind. You can probably give us water. You can give us some bag of rice. You can give us some soft drinks, soda. Just say, okay, I can donate this. And there are a lot of people who in the States, I remember last year, living in the States, bought 2 bags of rice to Nobel Liberia and sent it, and they brought it straight on the camp for us. These are things that we're looking forward to. So yes, these are different mediums that whoever wants to support can support. And also this year, for the first time, we thought that we work a lot and we have a lot of things to show. We're not getting the kind of support that we should get in Liberia. So we want to, go out there and build our network. So yes, this year we're coming to the US. We'll be in the US from July. I'm coming with 2 of our beneficiaries, 2 of the people who have passed through this debate, who the debate can prove that it has impacted them. Like I said, one is on her way to Sri Lanka tonight. Sada Sherry will be on the team coming in the US July. And Biola Nemeni, who is an acclaimed poet. A couple of videos are on our website. You can just follow her. She was just at Go Get Grow, some kind of event they had last week. She was the youngest on the panelist, and she's one of the best. We're going to be bringing her in the US. And while we're in the US, we've been lobbying with all Liberians. It's good that we have Garcon here. Garcon and us, we're going to be partnering. Even you are also here too. So we'll be looking forward to see as to how you can network us, with a lot of Liberian community there, and network us with a lot of people who are able to support us. So as we come there, we can have an event in Garcon City. We can have an event in Minnesota. We can have an event. We can go everywhere and talk about what we're doing in Liberia and to solicit support from our Liberian brothers and sisters who think that education is so important for them.
Wonderful. Dennis?
That's incredible. Well, I have a question for Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I'm looking at your website, and for the sake, let me share that with our viewer, Educate Liberia. I see you do a lot of things that I myself have been passionate about, using technology to educate our people. I know most of you are, trained in technology, but where do you get people from to do this? Say you have the e-library, which consists of books, or you have people that are doing video tutorial. I know, do you have like teachers or other people that are helping to build this or to contribute content?
Yes, basically for now, we have 2 persons, like the author, Mr. Otello Futi. He's one of the Liberian authors that has been helping like to read most of the contents that we have uploaded on the platform in helping us. And another thing again, we've been trying to get in contact with the Ministry of Education to help us out, because we understand that there are books that are given to institutions that are not for sale. But these books that are not for sale, we understand that you still have people selling them in the street. So that way, we've been talking to the Ministry of Education to help us to give all of these books that will be able to upload on the platform that students can be able to have it to use. And the first thing again, that platform is not fully completed. The platform is incomplete. The basic thing that the platform that is hosted on a free server, within the web hosting that is not secure. If you check the link there, you'll see that you see it as not secure. You see right on the top there to the URL, you see it not secure. So we don't have the funding now to be able to host that platform, to be able to encompass all of the major things we want to put on there. So that's been one of our main hiccups there for us to be able to get work started. But we just did this for us to be able to show to the public that indeed that we are striving to make it a reality. Like you see, that's what I'm saying. All of the major things that we are talking about, we cannot upload there because the server that is hosted on is free. So we are afraid to lose our information. That's the problem. You understand that if you post all your information on this free server, at times they get lost. So you don't find them there. So we've been appealing to numerous organizations likewise. I think it's a device we met recently. I think there was somewhere around this year we had a conversation also at the Often Concerned International Summit, which the both of us had the opportunity to attend. We talked a little bit about event basically. So we still been talking likewise the national. We've been giving series of communication that we started since the 27th of March. We've been giving since the 27th of March 2018, we've been giving series of communication out to favor entity that can help us in the process. The Ministry of Education, the national government, we've been giving series of communication. The last communication that we gave out was on January 28, 2019. These were the last communication we gave out to the various institutions again that we think will help us, but they have not given us any attention. Again, we cannot sit there and just be like mute. We want to help our community. We want to impact life in our society. So we'll keep the focus and we'll keep appealing to other organizations out there to help us in the fight in ensuring a better education system for all in our country.
All right. I know since you started doing this, what has been the impact, or are you getting any result?
Yeah. We have numerous schools that have been embracing the idea. We started like firstly by testing. We started testing to understand where which county the platform can load faster and what have you. Basically, we were able to cover 5 counties with our testing process. Just testing. We were able to cover Bombing County, Grand Kiba. We were able to cover Baboli. We were able to cover Mangibi and Legwise. Legwise, Grand Basso County. Those were the 5 counties that we targeted in our testing process. Likewise, for the impact phase, we started reaching out to various institutions. We were able to reach out to 4 institutions. But then now we have a tight schedule now. I say tight schedule because we don't want to just reach out to institutions. We want to be able to have the platform fully in full. So we've been planning a fundraising program. I'll be able to help raise funding for us to be able to officially launch the platform to the Liberian public. So we were able to reach out to the Davis School. We were able to reach out to the B.W. Harris School. We were able to reach out to Givey Ross. We were able to reach out to the B.W. Harris High School. Those are the 4 schools that were able to cover doing publicity and let's just say showing out to students what is important. And these individuals, the students themselves, the instructors themselves, they welcome the idea. Currently, most of the instructors go there to find some content if they need advances or they will be able to continue their work in this institution.
So what has been the role of the
and likewise again, the students themselves give a positive impact, especially when it comes to the curriculum issue.
Yeah, even I am. Go ahead.
Well,
no, go ahead. Because even I have not
especially
been able
the students themselves, they welcome the idea that indeed that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
You coming broken? I'm not hearing you.
Just go ahead. End your thought.
You coming broken? I'm not hearing you.
He said, go ahead, complete your thought.
Okay, I said, even the students themselves, they was like, wow, especially when it comes to the curriculum issue, because they just been attending schools, they don't see the curriculum, they don't have access to these curriculum that are taught in Liberian school. But for the first time in the entire age, they were able to have access to the curriculum that are taught in schools around. So they were like, at least I can be able to read ahead of the teacher and be able to see information as it relates to the. So you have the it's okay. When you click there, you see. So you have the national curriculum. So if they click on anyone, that's it. Open chemistry. So you see there. So you have all of these. You have all of these topics that you You see. So you have all of these topics. You come down a little bit. So you come down. So you see, you see first all of the topics, like all of the various topics is will cover. You can be able to view all of the people and know what's up. But for me, basically, I was like shocked when we started this work because I didn't have access to see the curriculum. I think if I was going to see the curriculum, most of the time I was going to be ahead of it. And they are older. Indeed, they have access to the curriculum, be able to read ahead of the teacher and have access to this material. So these are some of the work that we have done to help our education in Liberia.
So Sackie, what has been the role of what help have you gotten from the Ministry of Education or the Commission for Higher Education or any academic institution or government? What have been their role and what help have you gotten from them?
We have not gotten any help from national government, be it the Ministry of Education, the National Commission on Higher Education, likewise, that other institutions that we think will help, but to me, we have not gotten any help from them. We are striving on to make this work. We've been striving since. We have not gotten any help from them.
We have a question from online from one of our dedicated viewers, Vita. It says, Emmanuel and Alex, Emmanuel and Alex, with each of your organizations in Liberia building up, do you all support each other? And before I allow them to step in, what I will say is, so far in this interview, I have seen that Alex and Garcon have worked together on previous events, but the floor is open to you, Alex. What other organizations do you guys work with? Because of course, we understand that together we're stronger than individual, smaller organizations.
Okay, so my organization partnered with, first of all, we are a member of the Federation of Liberia Youth Life. So we partner with most of our work. And also, we also partner with our mentor organization here in Liberia, the Youth YMC Liberia. The YMC Liberia is our mentor organization. They are the one who mentor us. As a matter of fact, where we have our office space right now is the YMC Liberia that gave a very big office space through their mentorship. And then we also partnered also here with, we're in close support and close relationship with the Ministry of Education. In Liberia, I know under the Ellen Johnson regime, she brought some system because, civil society organizations were not guided. So a lot of funds were coming through directly from international organization to civil society organization. And they did a survey and was proving that most of these organizations were not accountable. And so when Ellen took over, what she did was the fact that she brought a system in. And the system is you have to get sector clearance or sector clearances from the line ministry you're working with. So they know that this is what you do. You submit your report to them. You give your objective and everything you do, you submit to the ministry, to those ministry. So ours, because we're on two ministry, two line ministry, that is the Ministry of Education, because we do educative programs, and Ministry of Youth and Sports, because our work is more focused on young people. So these two ministries, we are in close relationship with them. They give us sector clearance. Of course, if you want to be a very credible organization here in Liberia, you want to get all of the support you want to get from government, not in cash, but to use their platform and their network, is you have to get clearances. You have to get your sector clearance. You have to then you go to the Ministry of Planning, that will now give you your certificate as an NGO. Once you have a certificate as an NGO, you can even apply to any of the big international organizations to get grant or to get whatever it is. And that is what all youth organizations, young people should strive towards. Because if you don't strive towards that, I have been there before. I know exactly the hurdles that people go through when you're not recognized in the system. You don't get the kind of support. You don't get the ears of the government to listen to you. I, one person, believe that I don't like politics. Everything that's going to is too political, but you have to follow the channel of the government. And I like to encourage my brother Emmanuel. I know there is a lot of challenge, but I think this government, this Ministry of Education, they're open. I think you need to engage more. If he cannot, he can come to us. We can, work with him to make sure that we're walking through how to get through the Ministry of Education. I have a very good relationship. And I think because of the fact that I got all the legal documents, and I have a very good relationship. So I can walk him through from the minister office. I think he falls directly under the Student Personnel Service. That is Minister Nimley, and Minister Nimley will give him ES once I can take him through, and stuff like that. The second thing also, we partnered with Orphan Concern. Orphan Concern is my friend. It's a friend of mine who got it one. Amos Sober. It's a youth organization here. Andrew Greaves, that Garcon talk about. Andrew Greaves, a friend of mine too. We also partner with his organization as well. And of course, indirectly, I've partnered with Garcon organization because I worked with Patient when she came to Liberia. We had a meeting in my office. We talk about future partnership and all that. And we also look forward, because she told me that we're coming back to Liberia to do another program about Garcon talking about it. So yes, we have a lot of organizational partner where we remain open, partner with a lot of organizations that our work affect our country.
And as we start drawing near to the close, Garcon, my question to you is, can you just remind our audience what it is you have in store for this year and how they can support you, or, how people can volunteer, how they can get on board with Yale?
Yeah, thank you for that question. One thing is, what we would like to do is to make sure that, as we have been hosting program here in the U.S. since 2011, 2012, we would like for a lot of young Liberians who are young professional, who are working professional, who have knowledge and expertise in different areas, to try to see how they can come back home with us to try to help our brothers and sisters in Liberia. Because, like I said earlier, the young population makes up 65% of Liberia's, 4.5 million. There's a lot of young people that are left behind that need help in all these areas. A lot of them are struggling. As I was in Liberia, I saw that they have all of these intellectual centers, and there's a need of knowledge. They need to connect. They need to know what it is to do. They need mentorship. They need those type of things that will help them strive and better their lives in Liberia. So our goal is to see how we can take a lot of young Liberians back home to serve as speakers, to serve as facilitators, to serve as, presenters, to see how we can engage and try to help in the same time boost the economy if we can have a lot of young Liberians who are professional back home. So that will be our calling. That will be our recruitment effort in trying to take young Liberians back home, because a lot of our programs that we have held, anybody that have attended our program from Liberia and here in the U.S. can admit to this. We do not charge. It's free of charge. We raise money. We ask our friends, organizations to try to collaborate so we can try to bring these programs to young Liberians, because we saw that there's a need for us to collaborate. There's a need for us to know Liberians who are experts, who have knowledge, who can help impact, and who we can build a relationship with. So those are things that we are doing as Yale. And I think Ja just mentioned that our website, I don't know, I did not receive the notification, but our website is not up right now, but I will renew it. So it's yaleforliberia.org. And that's something we have, all of our works that we have been doing over the years is posted on there, who we are and what we stand for. And basically, organizing and managing and running young Liberian organizations is difficult. So if we call, for financial support, like I said, we host free program. We're not doing it to, make ourselves wealthy or make ourselves rich. We just want to be able to bring these programs. Like, for example, like in your own state, we collaborate with a lot of young Liberians there and did a career workshop where we, during, I think, was it Leo Moluba
Yeah.
presidency, we brought about a young Liberian culture awareness program where we taught young Liberians their culture, basic things that they need to know about Liberia. These are programs we would like to implement throughout the U.S. so that we can embrace the Liberian culture. I watched a video the other day about one European American was talking about how Liberians don't talk about their culture, and it was disheartening because why is it that we have so much connection and relationship to the U.S. and we do not talk about our culture? We do not expand on it. We do not teach our children that some of us, we are afraid to say that we're Liberians. So these are things that we have to install in our children. There's a lot of rich history. There's a lot of historian. Those are some of the projects. Like, how can we videograph the Liberian history? We have a lot of ex-president, ex-leaders, people that are knowledgeable about Liberia, like our verbal oral history. How can we recall that and try to show that the young Liberians, the second, first generation Liberians? So those are some of the things as a leader of Yale. Those are things that I would like to propose to our team to see how we can find money to try to produce some of those programs for Liberian here in the U.S. At the same time, transferring some of our resources back home because it is needed there the most, because looking at from our health sector, our education sector, employment-wise, a lot of those things in Liberia need to be taken seriously, like help, based on my observation, why, working with young Liberians in Liberia and why visiting Liberia. So, yeah, so a lot of those projects will be coming about. We need team members. A lot of the time we don't take our organization serious, so like me, as far as me as a young Liberian, I want to work and collaborate with serious young Liberians who are serious about the advocacy that we're doing. I don't want people to come around and just simply talk because a lot of us, we're good for talking. So we're reaching out. You can find us on Facebook. If you're interested, it's something you want to be a part. That is something I would like to form a team like that so you can bring your ideas and at the same time we can try to correlate it with what we got going on and we can implement it here in the U.S. and back home in Liberia.
Awesome. Okay, so people can reach out to Yale via your Facebook page?
Yeah, Facebook page. We have a website, email called hello@yaleforliberia.org. Website yaleforliberia.org. I'm gonna make sure I activate that. I did not receive the activation email. So we need to renew the domain name. So we'll renew that later on today. But yeah, so those platform is still out there that you can be able to reach out to us. So that way, if you interested in trying to form a partnership or form a relationship or collaborate on any project, this is something that we want to do because we recognize that, as small as Liberian population is in the U.S., we have the most organized group, compared to Nigerians and other groups. You can Google this. Liberians have more organization than any other groups of Africans in the U.S., but yet we don't collaborate on projects. Many of us do the similar projects, but all it takes is just to collaborate and try to bring about, advocacy, for Liberians.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Garcon. And Alex, moving to you guys, same question. You told us about the event that will be in, I believe, June, July, and how people can help. So just remind us, what is it that's going on for the rest of the year, especially with the debate, and how can people help and reach out to you?
Okay, so we got three things happening for our organization this year. One is we're currently on the National Debate Championship that will come to an end in June 3rd, June 2nd. So, like I said, we need some support. So some of the support we need can be in kind, it can be in cash. So if you're watching this broadcast now, you can probably say, okay, we'll do the trophy in the US. We'll do some t-shirts for you, some cash. Okay, I will buy you some bag of rice and I will send it to Nobel Liberia. We'll get you some agua oil and send it to Nobel Liberia, stuff like that. The second thing also you can also do is we have a trip this year. Liberia is going to go this year in Sri Lanka to participate in the World School Debate Championship. Again, it's coming up. So maybe you could just give us some donation. You can go on our website. As you are seeing right now, we're building it right now. It's not completed yet. So you can go on our website. There are areas that you can do donation. You can donate. Or you can just contact us directly on our Facebook page. That is Youth for Change INC. You can check us on Facebook. All of our work are there. You can just send us a message and tell us how you can contribute, and we'll be glad to receive it. We also, like I said, we have a team that is coming to the US this year. I'll be leading the delegation to the US, and you can also help us to network us with different organizations in the US or Liberian community that are passionate to helping young people. As you can see on the screen, many of the young people we work with. And again, yes, these are the different ways that we'll like to encourage all of you who might be watching this podcast to help us. Look, Liberia is a talking society, and one of the things why we thought today was important is that how do we construct the way people talk in this country? How do we make sure that we change the perception and the way how we normally see things? People just get and talk. They don't have facts. People don't have evidence. People don't know how to engage government, engage their community. So we cannot change the guys in the university right now. Trust me. There are guys who are there. Like I have a conversation with one of my guys last. I said there is two things. There is ignorance and there is error. Our problem in this country, it is not ignorant. Trust me, because the young baby who go to the can just chuck their hands in the fire. Oh, I know there's a fire. That's ignorant. Our problem in this country, a lot of us live in error. It means we got the information, but the information we got in our head is wrong. And that is what the problem is in this country. There are people who believe they already know. At the university, they stay on in the Palava Hall, they talk about issues like the law. They don't have the fundamental, have no idea, and in Malam, people carry it up. So to change that, we have to go back to the foundation. We got to go back to the school. We can develop young people capacity from high school. As soon as they come in university, they have a different mental culture, different mental how they perceive things. So that's what we're doing. We're helping our country to transform the young people, to build our capacity, to launch them into a future that we believe will be better for our country tomorrow. So look, in any way you can help us, as I talked to you, as I mentioned, the three ways how to do the National Debate Championship. You can do donation in kind and cash, or through our trip to Sri Lanka this year. We have 5 persons that will be going to represent Liberia at the World Debate Championship. This year is about 120 countries that will be gathering there. Liberia will be, for the second time amongst 120. You know what it is for us as Liberians. Flying the flag in Croatia. The kids had their red, white, and blue suit on them last night in Croatia. It was exciting. Liberians all around the world were watching and were sharing the video. We believe that your support can make our people go again this year in Sri Lanka to do more. And also, we're coming to the US. You can help us. Just connect us to people. Network us with institutions that can help. We'll come to some donation in kind as well. We'll be glad to receive it. I think that's the 3 different mediums that we look forward to your support.
Thank you. And Emmanuel, to you, what does Educate Liberia have planned for the year, and how can members of our audience help, and how can they reach out to you?
Basically, we have already planned our fundraising event. Hopefully, that'll be the 3rd week, either the 3rd week or the last week in April. We'll be having our fundraising event. The event is a tech night where we have different institutions from all over Liberia coming out to display what the new innovation they can produce to help our society. We also have major authors that are in the country that can come and explain about the historicity about Liberia. that event we're looking at raising about $5,000 that will help us officially be able to host the platform on our PA server. We can have all of the important features that we're looking at hosting on the platform that we can have it there. So we are appealing to all the organizations. Like I think the Youth for Change, we can collaborate in that part. We can also collaborate with Yale. We can also collaborate with Focus on Liberia. We can also collaborate with other institutions. Students in Liberia, you can contact us.
It's a little static. If you could go back a little, you were talking about partnering with the other organizations.
Yes. To make that even a success, that is the tech night that will be hosting in Liberia. Basically, the tech night is the main intention of that tech night is to be.
Emmanuel, if you have your phone on with Facebook, just lower it so that then we don't get it. What you say is very, I want to hear that. And let me remind our audience that Emmanuel will be turning 23 years old soon. I'm sorry to announce it, but this is a young guy, very brilliant people that are doing this incredible work. So I really want to mention, and I want to hear you clearly. So lower that and let me get what you're saying.
Let me see where I can adjust it a minute. You can get hold of it. I think I'm good now. Can you guys get me?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, we plan a tech night. That tech night where we have people who have built innovation to help Liberia. Those individuals have the opportunity to display this innovation at the tech night. We're looking at having that event in the third week in April. That will be either the third Friday in April. And we're looking at bringing authors. We understand that we have authors, people who have given back to society. Those authors will come on the tech night also to explain the basic about what they have done to society. So we have all of these guys coming on to be able to. And the main intention of this event is for us to be able to raise funding. We're looking at officially launching the platform also. So we want to be able to raise a maximum amount of $5,000 that our target, so we can be able to put this platform on official play server, and also we'll be able to do all of the major works that are needed for the implementation of this platform to Liberian schools in the 15 counties in Liberia. So we're not just saying we want to make this a reality that students out there, we have school administrators, parents, researchers can have access to this platform. And I was saying that we're hoping to collaborate with the youth in Liberia, and likewise the EDL. I'm hoping that we can be able to exchange content also and be able to get Focus Liberia also on our tech night also, that we can be able to do a live publication also that will be able to show to the world that we are serious to impact life and society. And likewise, I would like to appeal to our listening audience out there. We are striving to make this a reality. In whatever way you guys can be able to assist us, we'll be willing, we'll be grateful that you can help us to make this a reality. We are appealing the maximum amount that we need is $5,000 so as to help us get this to our maximum point that people in Liberia and researchers, students, and school administrators can be able to benefit from. And that's the main reason we have not updated. That's the main reason we have not updated the student tracking data business I spoke about. That's the main reason, because the server that we are hosting on is now a place where we don't have a large data storage there. That's the reason.
Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Dennis?
No, we just want to say that this is very great work that all of you are doing. I'm very excited what you're doing. I know something little bit outside, and if Alex, you stressed that a couple of times about politics and things that because one reason why we were so excited to do this show is most of the time when we hear from Liberia about the young people, is like 90% of them are just on political talk. So it's very, it's heartwarming to see people that are, in spite of what you see on Facebook Live, there are other people that are doing something to help move the country forward, that are doing something different. So Alex, talk to me about, and you are also in media, what really is going on when it comes to the young people and how they are so much passionate about political things, you know, as opposed to maybe what you are doing or what Emmanuel is doing or what Garcon is doing. What's going on there?
I think it's a cultural problem. You know, I had an opportunity at the university. I did sociology, so I read a lot of books, and I think Karl Marx saying one of his scholarly writing that him and we were born as a blank sheet, and we come to the life and we assimilate or we learn from things we see. So our first point of contact is our family, and our second point of contact is the community we live in. Liberia has always been like this. Liberia is a political environment, and what we know and how our older people have taught us that politics is the only way to succeed in this country. For what reason, I don't know. Apparently, maybe that's the easy way to make a lot of money in our country. But that's the culture we lived in over the years. And so a lot of young people who come to the fray sees politics as the way to survive, you know. I can tell people, you know, I had a conversation one time on radio, and they invited me as a young person, invited another elderly guy, and they were asking what the older people or the younger people who held responsible for how the country, who's better, who's serious, the serious generation. And I was telling them, I said, look, everything that's happening in this country is not the young people. Our constitution been butchered, violated, not the young people. All the things that happen in this country, going to butchers and fighting war, not young people. We just victim of the circumstances. Our older people told us this is the right way to do it. They use us all the time. And so when we come, you know, if you even follow politics on campus, all of the people who brought politics to this point, from the Tokana Tipute, from the H. family, these are people who, you know, did things before, and the young people come now and see it, they believe that is the right way. So it's a cultural problem, it goes back. So right now, what we need to do right now is few of us who probably see it differently will have to try to work and breed and inculcate a new value system in our young people. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I think Garcon is doing, is what Emmanuel, who said 23 years old, is doing. We will serve as motivation. And if people can see me and see us, that I can tell you for sure, in my organization, we have a lot of mentees that I'm proud of today. I just told you today that one of our mentees is with the Vice President Morocco, a young lady who's in 12th grade. Her brilliance, the Vice President called to join the team in Morocco. Sada Sharif, also the brand ambassador, a young lady. Now she's going to Sri Lanka tonight. Viola Nemini, a young lady. But guess what? If Alex Devine would have seen youth development as a way forward, these young people would have turned their mind to politics. But today, their minds have been changed. And that's what we need a lot of young people to think the way we're thinking, you know, to change the entire place. But I can tell you, sure, it is a societal problem. And that's the way it is. So we have to change that.
And we at Focus on Liberia are proud to be a part of this paradigm shift. Back to you, Danielle.
Yes, I just want to say again, thank you to all of you, Garcon, Alex, Emmanuel, for joining us today and sharing your projects with us. It does take a lot for a young person to step forward and say that they'll work on something that is greater than themselves. And each of you have done that. So I just want to say thank you to our viewers out there. All of our guests have explained how you can help, whether it be through financial support, in-kind support, or just resources of people and time and knowledge. Please support them however you can. I know Dennis plans on sharing that information with all of you on our different pages. So please support them. As Alex was saying, we politicize everything. And I think these are opportunities for us to help our country in a very neutral manner. So once again, just thank you and keep up the great work. I look forward to the great things that all of you are going to accomplish. And I know Dennis and I and the rest of Focus on Liberia will do everything in our power to help you and to help publicize whatever it is that you're working on. So
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you soon too in the US, July.
okay. Let us know when you arrive.
Yeah.
And thank you too very much. We look forward for you guys carrying our tech.
Yes, definitely. Dennis?
Until then, from all of us at Focus on Liberia, my co-host Danielle, my guest relations manager Stephanie Cetro, to all of you, Alex, Emmanuel, and Garcon, we say thank you so much. Good night and God bless you, man. We join you in Monrovia soon.
Yeah. Look forward to that soon.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Our listeners, we see you next Sunday, and we're going to bring on board some of the candidates that ran in the 2017 election but lost. These guys are back in Monrovia, in the U.S. Touch base with them and see how things looking and what their next points will be, or their next moves will be. Until then, good night from all of us.